And hello everyone, Lights and Gear is back, and today it's the Acebeam E70 Mini. This is the box, this is the light, not very large, just over 4 inches long because it is a mini. If you look back in the Acebeam catalog, you will see that they had a previous E70, but it was not a mini version. It was a little bit larger and took a larger battery. But as of late, they have released this cousin of the original light, and although it's not quite as bright as the larger one, it's very nice as an EDC light. So without further ado, we'll take a look here at the Ace E70 Mini. Pulling everything out, you'll see it looks pretty standard for what you see with most flashlights. And here is the instruction manual. This is also, I haven't mentioned yet, it's a high CRI light. So CRI would usually indicate that you have a better color rendering and so forth. That's the color rendering index is what CRI means, and this is a CRI 90, and usually anything or any light that's rated 90 or above is usually considered high CRI, if that tells you anything at all. So here is the little packet of spare O-rings, and here's their lanyard, which you can attach to it. Here's a USB charging cable, and this is a USB-C, and here's the flashlight. The pocket clip is extraordinarily tough, and if you attach that to anything at all, it will not come off under any circumstances. I do not believe it is super tight and sort of a titanium steel. Now, as you can see here, it is screwed on, so in theory you can remove it, but just don't lose the screws in case you want to put it back on. But it's a very nice looking light. It's a nice feeling light. It has these, I don't know what you want to call this, it's not only attractive looking, but has a good grip as well. The switch is on the back. It's not momentary, it's not tactical, but and the switch is not magnetic here, so it won't stick to a magnetic surface, but it has a very nice professional look to it here on the bottom of the light. There is no other switch, so this is the only method of turning it on and off. And to turn it on, you have to give it a double click and then a single click to turn it off. It has a lot of nice, just nice design elements. The crenellated bezel here is rather aggressive around the top. If you should have to use it for an emergency situation, or perhaps to strike something or break glass or whatever, to get at the battery, just twist the head, or twist the body as it were, and you have some nice threads here along the top, and here inside the head is a nice brass looking spring. The battery, as far as I know, it came with mine, as far as I know, the battery is included with the light, and it's your Acebeam 3100 mAh. Here along the top, or along this side of the top, is the USB charging port. From having the USB port on the battery, of course, gives you a couple of options for different ways in which to charge it. Now, of course, you can take the USB cable that comes in the package and attach it to the battery, and as soon as you do so, as long as it's not fully charged, you'll get a little red light right here, as you can see, and then as soon as the battery has finished charging, it'll turn green. So it'll go from red to green up here on top. Or, of course, you can put it into a designated charger, into a standard charger, and charge it that way. So whichever way works for you. works for Acebeam and their 3100 mAh battery. So anyway, I shall just put this back in here for the moment, and as you can see, it goes heads up, as it would in most cases. And let me just show you the modes and the run times, of course. So you have 4 regular modes. If you can see this, it's kind of small. Low, medium 1, medium 2, and high. And then it also has ultra low, turbo, and strobe. And the regular sequence of the light is to push it twice, and then of course just hold the button while it sequences through the modes. And the regular sequence is low, medium 1, medium 2, and high. And one click will turn it back on, turn it back off rather. So if it happens to be off and you just give it one click, it won't do anything at all. You got to give it that double click to turn it on, and then one single click to turn it off. So the ultra low mode, to get that, you press it and hold it while it's off, and then you'll get ultra low like this, and that's 9 lumens, I believe. And then the regular low mode is 12 lumens. And if you want the turbo, then you have to double click it while you're in any of the other modes, and you'll get turbo, which is 2000 lumens, and it lasts about 1.5 minutes on the 2000 lumens, and then it'll start ramping down to more of a high mode level. Again, if I run these over or show you them up close so you can see the actual modes on here. High mode will run for about 2 minutes, I believe that is, on high, and then it'll ramp down. High mode is 900 lumens, and then it'll ramp down after a couple of minutes, and then stay on its other level for almost 2 hours. Meanwhile, turbo, it says here 40 seconds, but I clocked it at about 1.5 minutes on 2000, and then it clocks down to I believe that's 600, and then it will stay there for a couple of hours. And your beam distances aren't too bad either, as you can see there. And of course it's also impact resistant and waterproof to 2 meters. And down here you have strobe at 1000 lumens. It also has a couple of other features on here which are pretty good. It does have a low voltage warning, so it explains that on here, what happens as the battery starts getting low. So basically, to indicate that the battery is low, it'll just start to step down when it's on any particular mode. So you'll see a decrease in output, and it also says here that it'll just pretty much shut off if the voltage is down below 3 or somewhere in the 2.7 range. It'll basically shut off when it gets down that low. I think I briefly started mentioning about the LEDs a little while ago, and they are in fact Nichia 519A LEDs of a high CRI, color rendering index. They're neutral white, and the circuit is a highly efficient circuit. There is no PWM, pulse width modulation, even on the lowest mode. The lens, of course, is toughened, non-reflective glass. It is, of course, made from aerograde, high-grade aluminum, and it's type 3, hard anodized, finished. So it's has all the specifications that you'd basically expect to see in a light of this type, and it's just over 4 inches long. So we haven't really shown the actual modes of it as of yet, so let's do that here. As I mentioned earlier, if you press and hold the switch like that, you'll get the ultra low, And even for an ultra low, it's brighter than most. A lot of ultra lows are around 1 lumen, but this is in the 9 lumen range, so even ultra low isn't as low as it can be, but it will obviously give you a lot of light in a dark situation, even on ultra low. So as I press and hold, I'll go up to low mode and press and hold again. Here's the first medium mode. I don't think it liked the way I pressed that. I believe we are in the first medium mode right now. If I press and hold again, I'm in medium 2, and then here's high. And the beam is very, very nice because it has the 3 LEDs. You won't get any kind of artifacts or anything in the beam. It's just as smooth as a smooth beam can be. So right now I'm on the high mode. Now if I double click, I'll get to turbo, and here's turbo. And as I've said before, the camera really doesn't depict the difference in some of these modes as well as it should, but I'll show you the outdoor pictures in a minute. And when it's on turbo, it does start to get pretty hot towards the head. So just keep that in mind. If you're holding on to it like this, it's starting to get hot now. So one press and it'll turn off. Double press again and it'll go back to high, where it was previous to turbo, of course. So if I press and hold again, it just goes right back down to low. And strobe is a triple click, 1, 2, 3. So there is strobe. Press and hold from strobe, and it'll go back to the mode it was on previously. So those are your modes from the very low to the very high. Let's go outside and take a look at those outdoor pics with it, and perhaps you can see the turbo a little bit better that way. Okay, I hope that was helpful. So basically this has been the Acebeam E70 Mini. So it's a nice size light, a nice form factor, and has the types of features you would normally get with a light of this size, but it's just a nice looking light overall. One of the more attractive ones I've seen recently anyway. And if you want to pick one up, you can certainly do so. There's a link in the description below. It was furnished by Acebeam for this review, and I do appreciate that the assistance from those guys over there. And you can also check out my written review at lightsandgear.com, where I have additional photos and of course a link there as well to pick up the Acebeam E70 Mini at your convenience. But it is a nice light, and if you're into nice little lights like this, I don't think you'll be disappointed. Thanks a lot for watching. Any questions or comments, let me know. Of course, you can like this video and press the button to get notifications whenever Lights and Gear brings out a new video. Thanks for watching. Take care. You have a good one. Bye-bye.